having a delay here, but it's it's always been so strange, this whole stuff before everything starts. But anyways, let's click this to go live. We are going live, guys. So welcome back to another episode of Box Mining live stream here. It's Monday. It's the 28th. So I hope you guys had an amazing holiday weekend. I for sure just took a few days off and just sat back and watched Bitcoin fly. I mean, come on, guys. That was a ridiculous run. The past few days have been extremely exciting. I think every single day was like Bitcoin was like breaking a new barrier. Is smashing past the wall. Yeah, 24K on the 24th, 25K on the 25th, 26K on the 26th, 28K on the 27th. What was going on this whole week was insanity, right? So we're gonna do a recap on what's happening on the market so far. We also have Ethereum. Ethereum saying, you know what? Let's play catch up today. So this morning I just woke up and I saw Ethereum. Like, whoa, what the? We just passed 700. Holy crap! Like, anyways, it's this insane time. I mean, the last time we did a live stream, things were, a little bit iffy, right? We're talking about this holiday just approaching back up. So it was a very big contrast between our last video and this video. Our last video, in fact, was a ledger hack. It was a depressing time, I mean, just worrying about the whole ledger thing. It seems like almost a season ago. It seems like it was like 3 months ago that we're talking about that ledger hack, and then crypto prices like Ethereum dipped below 600, and everyone was freaking out. And I was just like, oh, should I make a video, or it's just a thing that's gonna pass in a few seconds? And it's a thing that passed in the 3 seconds. So now we're back up, ETH 700. All those haters, they're just like hating us even more right now at this current point. I'm still very unsure of why people would stay. Like I wonder this. The sad thing is I've stopped like following Peter Schiff and all these idiots a long time ago, right? But do tell me, if you guys still watch those channels where people hate on Bitcoin, are they still chanting that hate? Do they still think Bitcoin's going down to zero? Is that still a thing? I'm very curious. It's one of those things, like it, it was a progression, right? Naturally I just like kind of started unfollowing everyone who's an idiot, and then now I'm like, okay, we're in good shape. But I'm still sure there's people who are like sticking their heads down in the sand a little bit further. We also have a lot of excitement coming on. It's just apologies for the delay. I just have big shout outs to everyone who's watching right now. I was having a secret conversation just before this scene started. The whole crypto scene is gonna go mad. I think like once this week picks up, it's gonna be insanity. Like it's gonna be super super fun. So lots of new stuff coming. Stay tuned. Make sure you follow Box Mining on Twitter. Lots of new cool announcements coming up, and there's gonna be like a crazy amount of stuff that you need to pay attention to this coming week. So make sure you're following me on Twitter. It's just gonna be plenty of activity. Just hint, 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 hint. Okay, hint, hint. Lots of crazy stuff. So yeah, we got Evelyn Stone replying, Nurio is still a hater and an idiot. But do remember with Nurio, his secret is that he built his entire career on hating Bitcoin. He built his career on being the villain, right? And he's playing that part perfectly well. But at the same time, when someone chooses a career to base a career around hating crypto, there's a certain element of they need crypto to succeed in order for their own careers to take off, right? So anyways, there was a big thing there. So guys, while you're coming in as well, make sure you smash up that like button. It really does help this channel grow, especially in these times right now. I'm kind of just having fun, and I appreciate if you guys have fun here. Smash up those likes, really really heavily appreciated too. We got SD saying after a long time, hey guys, welcome back. SD, man, I haven't seen you like for some time actually. So actually, in fact, a week or so. But anyways, guys, welcome back. Big Merry Christmas. Says across Canada, Happy New Year, guys. It's been a very festive time. Like, to be honest, I did spend like a few days just kind of sitting back, hanging around with family, just meeting up with the people I said I was gonna meet up. I've been kind of a crypto hermit for a while, right? I think that's no surprise to anyone here. Um, there's situations when you really just zone out on crypto. Like crypto, it consumes your entire life, right? So yeah, there was a time when I just said, this week, no more crypto. Just block everyone. Like, no more Telegram, no more crypto, no more anything. And that worked really well. It's just very well rested. Time to go back to fight, and that's pretty much there. We got LA voices. How do you feel about DeFi, dude? It's gonna pick up. Like DeFi is gonna be front and center. Like once Bitcoin does its thing, once Ethereum does its thing, and then what's next? DeFi is gonna do its thing. Right? That's the next. That's the next thing, and then NFT is gonna do its thing, and we're gonna cycle it around and around and around. That's life. That's life. So spoilers ahead. Anyways, let's take a quick look at everything. Before we do that, let's fire off the intro here. All right, let's take a very quick glance at the whole cryptocurrency markets right now. So it's insanity. It feels like a entirely different age since we last spoke. I mean, we got Bitcoin 27K holding out strong there. We had that major push. I go through the narratives. I'm just going to go through the coins very quickly. We got Ethereum above 700. I mean, well, I woke up to that. That's like a huge move for Ethereum right there. Ethereum was a little bit slower than Bitcoin. I was like, Bitcoin does its thing first, then Ethereum does its thing. But Ethereum finally caught up. We got all the other altcoins. So in terms of the major movements, right? You cannot see like in terms of the last 24 hours, it's pretty much even still, right? You got coins moving up and you got coins moving down overall in the top 100 market cap. So it's not asymmetrical yet. I'm looking for that asymmetricalness for the altcoin season to start, right? Once that altcoin season starts, it's just like everything's just blowing, right? Like altcoins are going to show you how numbers work at this current point, right? Like Bitcoin going up 10%. Yeah. So that's what I'm kind of anticipating coming next, right? So that's kind of the pattern we've been seeing. A lot of people are asking me why that pattern holds. It's a lot of times I feel like it's the reason why the reasoning, all right, I kind of feel like that has become, for me, the explainer for this is when Bitcoin moves up, that's institutional money. That's been the kind of the one that people know about the most, right? Once that moves up, people who are holding Bitcoin, they're, very well off. They can choose to start divesting, and they choose to buy other altcoins because, they kind of want a little bit of high as well. They want a little bit of a gamble. The lower market cap you move down, the easier it is to move that market cap, right? That's the way it is. I mean, moving something that's like right now, 500 and $3 billion in terms of market cap is very hard. But once you go down a list, it's a lot easier, right, in terms of their cap. So then that's when I kind of feel like, the blunt way of saying it is everyone hits the casinos after Bitcoin rallies and then Ethereum rallies. And then after the casinos, everyone goes, right? So this is where kind of we get all busy because at least for me, right? At least here, then I have a spread of portfolio, and then obviously the best performers are all the altcoins, right? The altcoins having the best sort of performance, and it's been absolutely insane. We're going to talk a little bit about all this algorithmic stable coins in a sec as well, because that has taken off like insane amounts. Like I feel like this is like the biggest money printer of 2020. And we'll talk about that. We'll cover in full detail. But let's take a look at the market first. Let's go for the Bitcoin narrative at the first thing. So first of all, let's take a look. So for the longest period of time, so they're in the run up before December, so before Christmas, right? We saw that 24K seemed to be the strongest resistance, right? We tried to touch it a few times. We tried to touch 24K on the 20th. We tried to touch it also here on the 19th of December. We tried to touch it yet again on the 23rd, and all the times we've been rejected. We've been pushed down. In fact, there was a bit of a scare on the 21st of December where, Bitcoin almost dropped to 21K. It was a situation where everyone's like, "Oh my God, is fear coming in the markets? It's like, is everyone selling before Christmas? That seemed to be the thing?" But it didn't crash for too long. Very quickly, we tried to attack 24K mark, and the moment we kind of broke that, we just saw Bitcoin fly. Right, it was a non-stop action, just every day breaking new highs. It was just like every day we got an alert on, regardless of what app you're using, right? Whether it's being at Binance or CoinGecko or whatever app, they're all just firing notifications. Guess what, guys? Hey, guess what? Yeah, you wouldn't believe this, yeah, but Bitcoin is at 25K. Well, wait. No. It's at 26K now. That's the right one. So yeah, Bitcoin knew zero trill and just kept pushing up. So right now we do see some resistance at 28. So that seems to be the number that was like, okay, you know what? That's a little bit hard to breach at this current point. But, like right now, this kind of holiday excitement was kind of expected. We saw that after Thanksgiving as well, where kind of like, the narrative goes that people go back to after the holidays, they talk to their families about cryptocurrencies. Now it's a little bit more receptive. 2017 was kind of, we saw the similar trend there, right? Where after the holidays, people go back and then things kind of exploded. So I kind of constantly compare a little bit of now between now and 2017 because that was when we had the massive rally too, right? So in kind of all crypto history, let's just take a quick glance back at what happened all the way back in 2017. So scrolling back here, so we definitely did have the Christmas post Christmas high, although the post Christmas high did seem to be like, so let's see, yeah, 25th. After 25th, we had the spike up. Let's switch to 4-hour view. Let's see if that helps a little bit. Uh, yeah, okay. All right, here we go. Here we go. So let's scroll all the way back to 2017 if I can. Going back into it. Oh, wow, my data doesn't go that far back for 4 hours, huh? Weird. Okay, never mind. Let's just switch to that then. Oh, okay, I should have switched to this view. That makes a lot more sense, right? All right, so we have this 2017. That was a 2017 run here. Let's see what happened in December. All right. So yeah, towards December, so it was much more pronounced, right? So running towards a run up towards Christmas, we did see a drop in 2017. So that was 10K, 10K. So afterwards, it did pick up towards after Christmas, like around the time now, and then working their way up towards New Year. We did see a little bit of a drop as well. You can kind of see that narrative. People preparing their way for holidays, they sell some assets, and then that's something that it might be possible here now as well. So it might be the case that we hit this kind of high after everyone gets back to work after Christmas, and then they start buying some Bitcoin because their whole family was talking about it, and then we might experience a little bit of a dip arriving to New Year's when yet again everything shuts down again, right? But then after New Year, it could explode again, just like kind of what we saw in 2017. But the only difference here right now, you can kind of see in 20 between now and then is that this year we see a very different kind of um excitement level. Like I think 2017, like I constantly refer back to it because I want to see where we are in terms of the explosion here, right? So yes, we did take off, beyond all our hopes of dreams of 2017. 2017 was that massive rise of Bitcoin. But at the same time, I kind of feel like we're still early on because in terms of the general public and general public excitement, we definitely don't have that level that we saw in 2017 either. So this is where, for me, it's very important to gauge that kind of, the current, the Wall Street emotion cheat sheet. Like which bit are we? Are we in kind of like the greed stage, or are we still kind of recovering from the last run stage? And I still feel like we're still early because this time in terms of general like Bitcoin trending and Bitcoin Google trend. Let's take a quick glance at that. In terms of Google Trends, this year has not been crazy, right? Like it's definitely not those levels that we saw in 2017 where everyone, even your taxi driver is talking about Bitcoin. Yes. So we definitely see like, okay, look. So in September it's 24, so it's 4 times that of September, right? So this is interest in the US. Let's go switch to global as well. I think it's pretty much a similar pattern. Yep. So we have like a 3x interest versus September, right? September we have this kind of like uh dip here. But in terms of all-time high, like in terms of, let's say past 5 years, yeah, it's nowhere near. Like we're still like if you look at the peak of December, we're still like we're only like a quarter of that. And especially let's take look at the US as well, the US view. Very interesting, huh? Very interesting. So I don't think we like the general thought is that we're still super early. Like, yeah, same thing here for the US view of that. Yeah, the FOMO, I don't think the FOMO really turned on. Like, we saw some exchanges blowing up over the past month. It feels like they didn't buy enough servers, they didn't expand enough, but it's not like those 2017 levels where, people who had a Binance account were selling their accounts because Binance closed off that applications. You couldn't even create an account on Binance because they couldn't handle the traffic, so they closed it off, and then people were auctioning off their accounts for like $4,000, like your Binance account for $4,000. So it's definitely not those days yet. So yeah, so I'm actually super optimistic of where we're going so far. And the same story pretty much goes with ETH as well. ETH was like we saw that strong resistance. We saw it try, we saw ETH trying to push past 670. Yet again, I couldn't really pass it. And then now we're kind of like breezing past 700 at this current point. So, it becomes where crypto exposure becomes super important at this current point. Cryptogram says so it's likely all institutions causing buy pressure, retail not here yet. I say so too, a little bit. I mean, retail is starting to heat up. Like, don't get me wrong, it's 4 times that of September times, but it's still not crazy yet. But we definitely have the momentum going on at this point. And it's kind of interesting too, right? Just to talk about the bigger picture of this. So remember the Bitcoin halving? So we were talking about the Bitcoin halving a little bit earlier. Let me just get the exact date. Bitcoin halving. So Bitcoin halved on May, right? So the recent halving was on May the 11th of 2020. So that was roughly half a year ago. It's almost like clockwork, right? We were talking about the Bitcoin halving, and we're talking about how usually around half a year after the Bitcoin halving, Bitcoin explodes. The reason for this is because usually miners stockpile, right? So how the halving affects Bitcoin is that the mining rewards suddenly drop, right? So the amount of Bitcoin, the new amount of new Bitcoin being minted, the amount of Bitcoin being created, it halves. So much less floating supply. But it doesn't immediately impact the price. Usually the price kind of wave hits around half a year to a full year afterwards because, you know, miners were stockpiling Bitcoin. If you think about it, they were mining, they had a stockpile left. But as institutional investors start buying that OTC, a lot of you see that volume over the counter, they start trading that. So you don't really see that impact the kind of the spot markets. But what you see is that after the stockpile starts getting depleted, because there's less and less of that stockpile left and there's less Bitcoin being created right now, you can see that kind of explosion in growth in price. So that's kind of what we're seeing now. So it's kind of very interesting that prophecy kind of auto completes itself at this current point. But regardless, it's a pretty exciting time. So, anyways, I feel very blessed. I think this year, just honestly for me, I felt very blessed to be riding this whole entire wave with you guys yet again. There were times like, I always say this story, reflecting back, there were times when you kind of almost like feel like you're doubting yourself. Like, how I started making videos 2017, and then 2018 was rough, 2019 was rough, early this year was also rough. It was just like, there was just no interest, right? No one cared to watch. But now it's just kind of insane. It's like before it was almost a point you're kind of questioning yourself, like, you know, can this go on? But it does, right? You just have to believe in yourself. And that was it's a bit to this year for me, that was a big kind of like for me at least, I just felt that I'm being rewarded for being able to survive. Like that's kind of the feeling I got. Like I trusted in myself and it really paid off massively. And that's just amazing, right? I still remember there was points in time where like Bitcoin was crashing, right? You're like, oh, buy or sell. And you just have to take the courage to buy, right? That was the hard part. Like that dollar cost averaging in, that's insane. So anyways, that's the fun times. But anyways, now comes the next part, right? So the next part of a cycle is obviously with the alts, and this is one thing I'm going to focus on a lot over the next few days, where it's a lot about alts. Like I think in terms of for me, right? For me, I was like focusing on the main cryptocurrencies. I made no kind of um I didn't hide the fact that I was very, very into Bitcoin. I was and also very heavily into Ethereum, but now expanding into the altcoin space. I have a lot of altcoins here. They need a lot of attention now, and it's time to go back. So in terms of the news and updates, I think the one that was talking to me the most was Exceed. So yeah, recently I did make an investment into Exceed. So let me just bring that up to you guys. So they're launching on Uniswap. Sorry, not Uniswap. They're Polka Starter on Wednesday. So that's one something I am paying attention to, and for a successful launch on that end as well. And also, of course, with TrustSwap is doing quite a lot of stuff in the background as well. So I've been focusing, like, of all the times I glance at them, I'm focusing. They're launching Glitch, so they're doing a public sale for Glitch on the 11th. So if you're following TrustSwap, what you have to do is you have to accumulate your TrustSwap in your wallet in order to participate with these public token offerings on their launch pad. So that's kind of the big things coming up on the horizon that I did pay attention to over this week. So both Glitch and with Exceed, two strong projects coming in and launching at pretty much the perfect right times. Um, we got Eric Courtois says, get Graph while still cheap. Man, Graph just exploded. It was one of those things that was like, that I did play around with. So just following up on the whole Graph narrative and the whole story of Graph. So when it launched, it kind of launched at, I think it was 10 cents really. And people who got in the pre-sale were just super lucky. Like, I was very unlucky not being able to get on the pre-sale for this. But people who got in the pre-sale, they managed to catch 10 cents. They got it in less than 10 cents, and then it launched at 10 cents and then just blew the hell up, right? It was just like a rocket ship taking off to the moon. It was a kind of a demonstration of what these alts can do. And the way Graph kind of worked was that it was very well spread. Like the technology obviously is amazing. It's very understandable for most people that you can interact with blockchain. It gives you information, right? This is information that developer needs. Information, not informations, information that developers need about the blockchain, about data. It's price data, right? And getting that data is absolutely key, right? And then all of a sudden, everyone understood it, and then just Graph just blew up. But obviously, of course, there is some sell pressure. There was some point. At some certain point, the market cap of the Graph actually reached, it almost touched $1 billion. I mean, this is how insane things go, right? So on the 21st, the Graph almost touched $1 billion for market cap before that pullback here to around $500 million. But yeah, $500 million. Holy crap, for something that launched on the 27th, congrats. And anyone who's in, congrats. Big congratulations for you if you're in the Graph. So anyways, that's hot, like super hot. Anything related to data is super hot right now. And the other one that's super hot is the algorithmic stablecoin. So this was like the other crazy stuff that happened over this week. I was keeping a tab on it, but like this is other insanity, right? This is the 600x of the year. So it started off in November. The market cap of DSD was literally at 3 million or even less. In fact, it started off at 1 million. And then it just blew up to 242 million market cap. So literally a 242x on DSD. Like, insanity. That's the one thing that I did miss out on. I think I had a friend that was like, oh yeah, that's the best performer I've had. I put $1,000 in there and now it's like $200,000. I'm like, what am I doing with my life, right? So congrats to anyone who's in all these algorithmic stablecoins. You know my view on it. It's kind of crazy, right? There's a lot of reasons. I had a debate with Base Protocol, and there's a lot of kind of. It's interesting how it evolves too, right? It evolves from just rebasing. We'll talk a lot more about this in the future, but it evolves from just rebasing to kind of more interesting plays on it. So I think this is like the trend of 2020, right? Initially, we thought, oh, it started out with Ample Fourth. It has a rebase function where they change the total supply in response to the price, right? Price goes up. Well, how do you keep the price from going up? You make more of it, right? You literally print money. So initially, it was a neat, funny mechanism, but some people, and it's very obvious that people who understood that people get confused because people look at the price all the time. So like, say, for example, DSD, there was an article faces a massive test as the stablecoin falls to as low as 27 cents. Price is not the most important part here. People don't understand. Price price is nothing when you should only look at market cap. But most people don't understand that most news articles seems to be following in the idea of looking at price. So we kind of get this mechanism with all these algorithmic stablecoins where the price just pushes. The price doesn't push up. The market cap pushes up, but the price pushes down. So people think that they're buying the dip, which is kind of crazy, right? But anyways, we'll talk about that more in later episodes. We'll do more streams throughout this week, just to kind of follow up on everything that's going on. The way that the gameplay for these, right? So DSD and ESD and all these other algorithmic stablecoins is that they have additional mechanisms. So they're kind of building up on this idea of rebasing, but taking it to the next level, and that's very interesting. It's like this year, it seems like all the big brains are going for this algo stablecoins. It's where all the money is printed. It's where all the confusion is, and it's where I guess it's most exciting. So we'll definitely pay a lot more attention to these algo stablecoins. I think I learned my lesson there. That DSD thing was just like insanity. But anyways, we'll have to see what happens. But with algo stablecoins, it's just a lot of volatility. I think that's the same thing we saw with base protocol as well, where it kind of just shot up in terms of market cap. It did the 100x, and then it kind of very quickly became very volatile, and that's good and bad, right? Like some people like. There's a lot of opportunity when there's a lot of crazy trading, right? It was a situation where, yeah, all of a sudden it goes from like, yeah, 21 million to 70 million market cap, and it dropped all the way down to 4 million market cap. So just think of those price swings. Like if you're holding that coin, which I was at that time, you're basically saying, okay, look, today I'm up like 5x. Tomorrow I'm up like 20x, and then the day after I'm like down like I'm like a 0.1x. But that's kind of part of the ride, and that's kind of the part of the discovery process, right? Where you're kind of trying to figure out how to make this work, how the mechanics are working, and I think that seems to be what people like this year. So, anyways, I'll talk a little bit more about it. But all these algo stable points are just madness at this current point right now. Talking about DuckDAO and everything that's going up. So DuckDAO is going super strong. It's one of the communities that I was super lucky and happy to join. So it's one of those situations where I feel like I didn't know like too much about at the start. I saw Ivan Tech going to DuckDAO, and what it is it's a community, right? It's a decentralized autonomous organization, and there's two aspects to it. One is the chat, and the other is participating in projects. Because they operate as a group, they get to have allocations into projects, and they start incubating new projects. So Base Protocol is one of them. There's also I'll show you their list. Um, Pools is one of them. Bondly is one of them. Base, Geek, DeFi Pi, Fuse is one of them that was incubated by DuckDAO. There's a duck with lots of money on it. But at the start, I didn't realize. I was kind of like trying to figure out what the rules are, what contribution they can make, and what I can contribute to them. And initially, a lot of people were asking me, is it worth joining the chats? Is it worth getting involved? I mean, now it's plenty clear if it's worth it or not. And I think this is where power is going to come. I think this year, what we're going to see is that we're going to see these decentralized autonomous organizations. Why they're going to have a lot of power is because they have a lot of community backing them, right? So the bigger the community, the stronger they are. And they're starting to replace traditional venture capital in the space. VCs have been dominant in, if you look at, Silicon Valley and their model there, it's all about large funds giving, investing in projects. But now this year we kind of see that shift, right? So both with DuckDAO being one of the strongest, one of them, where they have a huge community, the community invests, and then that kind of shift in power is coming straight into community-based projects. I think their motto is like, who's gonna win, one VC or 1,000 ducks, and that's the strength there. So yeah, obviously, this is a situation that's still very volatile, but at the same time, the community is being shown to be extremely strong. And yet another trend that's like heavily strong this year. So it did have a volatile period. It's really pushed up. So like, I think a lot of people are asking me around, November, October levels, and then they're doing pretty off right now in terms of DuckDAO. But for DuckDAO, you have to have a certain number of tokens to participate in both the auctions and also in terms of the conversations. Same thing goes with TrustSwap as well. I think, yet again, the community is just way stronger than a lot of people estimated. I think a lot of people, when I first started off, people were hating me. They're like, "Oh, hey, look, you're an advisor at TrustSwap, but TrustSwap doesn't have much right now, right?" But TrustSwap has a huge community, and their launchpad is doing super well at this current point. Their past few projects are just taking absolutely off. So if you look at TrustSwap and how they work as well, the launchpad has become, I think, one of the strongest elements of TrustSwap, where you get to participate in projects, you get involved in projects, and it's become to a point where that's becoming the start one. So the staking, so basically for TrustSwap, how it works is that you have to stake the TrustSwap token to be taking part of the launch pad. So you stake it, you get the average, kind of a time-weighted average of how much TrustSwap you're staking, and then you get to take part of the launch pad. And that's how it works. And it's like, anyways, it's insane. So we got Elijah Kellen. Kellen says trust swap rules. We're gonna bring Jeff back very soon for just a very casual discussion. We, like, me and Jeff have been friends for a while, and I just wanted to do a holiday special with him. So it's coming up soon, very very soon. It's just been crazy these few days, and it's gonna go like more insane. I feel like I'm like preparing myself. I feel like I got the break I needed, but now it's a time to kind of work like 20-hour days. Like it's just like hustle time. It's like you gotta work your ass off. Like this is the time when coins fly, right? It's the time, if you were to work your ass off, now would be the time. So yeah. So DuckDAO was crazy with DeFi Pi rewards, USDT rewards out of nowhere. With DuckDAO as well, they just recently launched Duck, and I think it's a mining. So this Duck Farm is recently farming it right now. So Duck Farm is for people who really care about Duck, right? So how it works is that you can either farm with any of these kind of coins. So you can either farm with Duck ETH, Duck versus DDIM, or DDIM ETH. So DDIM is the Duck DAO, the token for the DAO itself, but the Duck token is for the liquidity provider. How that works is that this fund was used to provide liquidity to market makers to help market make the incubator project. So that's what the Duck token itself is for. And recently, if you want to get the Duck token, you can. So there's like a ridiculous farming opportunity here. If you're a big holder, like if you're a big believer. So the way it works is that right now the rewards are just all insane in terms of what you can get for the Duck ETH, Duck DDIM, and Duck DDIM ETH. But the key here is that half the tokens, all right, cannot be withdrawn from the liquidity pool. So this actually makes it deflationary. This is where the kind of the business side combines with the tokenomics side, right? We know that deflationary tokens like Core was just super popular because Core had a deflationary mechanism here. Similar thing here with the DuckDAO token as well, the Duck token and the DDIM. It has a very powerful deflationary model where people who stake, they need to commit, right? We've seen people like, and I'm guilty of this, who just farm and then sell the token and just go out and leave, right? And this is one of the things that was very key at the design stage of the Duck token. Duck token is an opportunity. It's given out to people who believe in it, and people get to farm it, right? You get these ridiculous rewards farming. But the caveat is that you have to lock when you do stake it, half the token, right, is staked forever. You can't withdraw it. So this is where, yet again, it's ingenious design. Definitely, super ingenious there in coming up with it. But it also rewards the people who need to be rewarded, and then also it discourages anyone else to just like farm it and leave and just take the benefits, right? The freeloaders. So this is where the Duck token comes in. But in terms of the Duck token itself, I feel like the power of the Duck token really comes with the new projects. Being able to market make, there's a huge opportunity to market make these tokens. I mean, if you look at DuckDAO's projects, right? All of them are super volatile in terms of where the prices go, right? If you look at Bondly Base, there was a huge price swings, and where liquidity providers and where this market makers come in, when they make the most amount of money, is they function not to increase the price of a token, right? The market makers, what they do is they kind of close the gap between the buy and the sell orders, but also allows the market maker to make profit in that gap. So that's kind of where the power is coming in. It's to do with a lot of crazy math stuff, but anyways, that's where the Duck token is. It represents token liquidity providing for duck projects at that point. So the duck token is bullish. Once pools gets released, instantly 5x and more. Is crazy times. Crazy, crazy, crazy times. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much the amount of crazy stuff that's going on. It's been a it's been a hell of a ride. It's been a hell of a ride catching up as well. I think like this whole week, I've been playing catch up with the news this morning, and it's just like a crazy amount of new material coming out. It feels like I've been, a little bit like the whole holiday. I've been gone for like a few days, but it feels like I've been gone for a year, right? So just looking back in crypto, I feel like right now we're kind of at this point where we're challenging each other to go a little bit, daring each other to go a little bit higher. Let's take a look, very quick look. Let's just read Reddit together. Um, Wow, so some Bitcoin's moving. So this is some FUD on the market. So apparently 1,000 Bitcoin mined back in 2010 moved for the first time on December 27th. Some guy either found this Bitcoin, magic Bitcoin lying around, or finally decided to at least sell a little bit of the Bitcoin. So just well, that always happens. It's a necessary part of the community moving forward, right? Where you have to get it to exchange hands. Otherwise, you have these huge stockpiles of Bitcoin that people have mined in the past, and then all of a sudden, it comes out on the open market. It's gonna be crazy. China coin no more. Bitcoin mining moving to Sweden and Norway. That could happen. That could happen. Oh, it's okay. All right. So this is like mining operations. Let's see who's moving. Um, so Genesis Mining guys told that they're moving from China to Nordic countries. But I thought they were there already. So I think like this is yet again, it's minor news that's not really relevant. I feel like it's a situation where I think a lot of people feel that mining is very centralized in China, but it's actually not. If you think about it, like back in the day, the truth was that mining is very decentralized across all continents. Basically, wherever miners can get cheap electricity, where like 2 cent electricity comes in, that's where they go. So it became a situation where people kind of spread myths that, oh, China's taking up a huge portion of it, blah blah blah. But in actual reality, there were pools, right? There were pools combined with many decentralized miners, and the reality of the fact is that even though a certain pool might be run by Chinese people, they can configure an Asian server, a US server, a European server for their pools. It's like how two miners work. But anyways, regardless of how it is, it was actually mining was actually a lot more decentralized. And yet again, it's like people spread all the stuff, and like it's generally false. Miners generally spread false information anyways to kind of foil people, so so people don't know where they are and can't chase them on tax reasons. So it's kind of a murky space, and as a person who knows what's happening in miner space, it's kind of interesting looking at these top news articles in this space. All right, so we have lots of okay, so we have lots of price movements. Yep, that's what we saw this morning. Um, Corporations now own 30 billion in Bitcoin as bull run pays off. Yep, yep, yep. It's crazy. BlackRock is hiring a blockchain VP. They have to. They have to. I mean, that's kind of the trend, right? And it's starting to become the case where like the Bitcoin was a joke, right? Bitcoin largely back in 2012, coming back from those days, people didn't care about it. And in fact, I fell down the trap of listening to people who are complete idiots. But yeah, but if you look at the way it's progressing now, not just for Bitcoin itself, right? So Bitcoin has already been validated because you can send that across the world, same fee everywhere without any control, without reducing any of the control you hold over your currency, right? Bitcoin, when you hold Bitcoin, you hold Bitcoin. When you hold fiat, the bank holds fiat on your behalf, right? That's the key difference here. That's the value of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is something that you hold, all right? As long as you remember your keys, of course. If you put in an exchange, the exchange holds your Bitcoin on your behalf. Just remember that. So that's why you hold your own keys. That's why you hold your own Bitcoin. That's why even though Ledger had a stupid hack, it's still one of the better devices to hold actual Bitcoin. The ledger, not the ledger hack itself, the ledger email hack, the hack that leaked their stupid addresses, anyways. But anyways, the device itself is still one of the keys to hold your own crypto, right? Which is why we talk about it a lot. But that's a difference, right? People are realizing, okay, there's a lot of value in holding your own assets, right? The rise in Bitcoin is largely attributed to that factor as well. Bitcoin is your own Bitcoin. The supply of Bitcoin is limited because it's decentralized. There's no one party that can just issue a bunch of Bitcoin and you know crash the entire market, so to speak. So that's the power of everything that we're doing here. But on top of that, I feel like the amount of innovation that we see in the whole kind of altcoin and the whole decentralized finance scene is just ridiculous. Like this year, the amount of innovation I saw in that space, that field was just crazy. Some programmer can type up a crazy contract overnight, look over it for a few hours and boom, pop it up and then it explodes and becomes like a lending platform. Like holy crap. Or an insurance platform. Holy crap. So the amount of it's just absolutely insane there. So honey, I'm gonna get some mail, so I'll be right back. But let me do the outro first and then let me handle the mail for everyone here. I'd like to take the time now to tell you a little bit about everything that's happening in the box mining ecosystem. First and foremost, if you guys like listening to all that's happening in crypto on the go, then I would highly recommend you checking out the Box Mining Bitcoin Out of the Box podcast. And the reason why it's called Bitcoin Out of the Box is because we have long interview segments very much exploring the detail of the newest and latest of what's going on in this whole cryptocurrency space. Whole idea of it is to bridge that gap between knowledge privileged institutional investors and the rest of us here in this space. Now, with the podcast, it's on everything. So it's on Apple Podcasts, it's on Google Podcasts, it's on Spotify. Just search it anywhere, Bitcoin. All right, sorry about that. I had mail delivered here, so I had to just pick it up just now. So anyways, yep. So following up with comments, I think it just was almost finishing up with the comments. Just apologies for that. I had to mail delivery guy was coming in. So I'm just making sure my audio is working because and everything here. So Connor says his hair changed in a second. That's a magic. All right. Okay, so the DEVGA FTW, another bullish factor is the large BTC wallets actually shrink every year, meaning they can't keep from selling. That is true. It's also becoming more decentralized. I think the number of new ETH wallets is growing. It's just being crazy. Oh, I forgot to mention this, by the way. Totally forgot about this. 1inch just launched on Christmas Day. So I'm not sure if you guys were following 1inch or not, but if you guys ever use 1inch as an exchange aggregator, you can start connecting your wallet and claim your free 1inch tokens as well. So it was a very nice Christmas present over the week. Let me just enter my password in properly. So this is only if you use 1inch. The sad part, the sad part for me was that unfortunately I didn't use that much 1inch on all my accounts. I used it a few times, but the gas price got a lot too very heavy. But anyways, if you go on 1inch right now, I'll just show you guys this very quickly. If you click the unicorn stuff, you can check for 1inch tokens, right? So you can check, you can enter address and see if you can have any to claim. So I did have some to claim because I did use it, but I didn't use it on my demo account. It's kind of sad because I have a separate demo Ethereum address. So I actually managed to use that to show you guys how to use Uniswap, and I got to claim some free Uni tokens. But this time I was like, oh, I'm so angry because I didn't use it on this exact account address to use 1inch. So damn, idiot me. But anyways, I missed out on collecting a huge bunch of 1inch because usually I spread it between many accounts and I collect multiple times. But I'm grateful I got to collect it at least once. So you know what? I'm happy. That's my Christmas present. Thank you, 1inch Ergato. If you guys haven't collected it yet, you can check the claim 1inch token. You just get it for free. So if you used 1inch, the exchange aggregator, if you used it prior to the launch of the token, you get to claim it. And 1inch is doing not bad at this current point. It's actually listed on Binance already at this current point. So lots of stuff going on. Lots of stuff. So yeah, so it's been a little bit volatile over the past few days. I mean, it shot up when it first launched to $2.70, and then it's kind of found some support at a dollar 10-ish at this current point. But hey, you get it for free, right? So why not? Why not? Sam the Dalen says, don't buy 1 inch, man. Just calm down, calm down. Its market cap is still reasonable. It's at 85 million. In fact, they're doing a lot, right? In fact, they're 1 inch, they're doing quite a lot in terms of exchange aggregation, and it becomes a lot more powerful once more and more people trade on dexes. It makes sense, right? So yeah, why not? Why not? So just a quick reminder, if you guys used 1 inch before, do collect it. It is free tokens. Why the hell not? All right, talking about farming and everything still, let me give a quick check. I think we're towards the end of our video here. Just quick check. My Ethereum node on my node, actually, just seeing what's happening on the node. So the node's been running pretty well, actually. So this is my Ethereum 2.0 node. I'm pretty happy that I started one of these. Reward so far is at 0.2 ETH, which is around $162. So this is when you have to stake your Ethereum in order to become a validator. I have a full video on that. If you guys are new to the channel and you haven't viewed that video, I show you guys how to run your node. You set up your own node and start running that. So let me just show you the video over here. It's the one Ethereum 2.0 staking guide. Earn every day. All right, so just download this file. Check out. So get this video up if you guys haven't checked it out yet. So we're kind of looking at the results of that. So the good thing is, all right, the great thing about this node is that I'm earning every single day. So if you actually click onto this and you look at the node itself and the status, right now it's active, and you can see the balance. So this is a time indicator on the bottom, and this is how much balance I have. So you can see it's just increasing over time, right? Every day I'm earning ETH, all right, at a 14% annual percentage reward, right? So every single block, or not even block anymore. So on Ethereum 2.0, it's called epochs. So every single epoch, I'm earning ETH, and I get to vote, and the kind of all nodes handles everything for me in the background, right? So this allows me to kind of pay $10. So I set up the node, it runs, it's online 24 hours, and then it votes, and then it gets the reward. So it's been doing actually pretty well recently. In terms of the effectiveness, it's a perfect performance now. So I think there was once, like the last time we checked up on it, there was a few times when it did actually just skip a beat and didn't manage to vote on every single epoch. But recently, the effectiveness is now at 100% perfect, and I'm just getting, pure income from my Ethereum 2.0. Of course, the drop back of ETH 2.0 is that the funds here are locked until transfers can happen on ETH 2.0. So that might take a year. It's still uncertain how long it'll take, but right now earning a little bit of passive income, not too bad. In terms of other passive income, I also have Wing.finance. I'm still actually farming that quite actively. In terms of Wing.finance, though, the rewards have shifted a lot. So previously, for PUSDC, the rewards were around 20% and 20% for just depositing your Ethereum, your USDC there, which would give you 40% even if you don't fold. But now the way it's moving now is that it's around 4.5% for just saving, and also you have a wing reward of 14%, which means you have around 20% APY. But if you do fold and you fold into USDC, so that's kind of the strategy now. So you fold your USDC and you get SUSD. You get, like, for here SUSD, your deposits are roughly right now some crazy insane amount, like 42%, which is insane, right? So yeah, I'm still very actively looking into all these yield farming opportunities. The other one to really tell you about is Swissborg. If you guys are looking at yield farming and just earning some passive income, the other one is it's on this one. So Swissborg right now, if you're on premium, all right, if you're on premium, you get to save with the yield wallet, right? So on the yield wallet, you get to earn yield. So roughly right now, it's at 20%. So I'm getting, actually not 20%, 16.7% on Swissborg. There's a referral link down there. It does help me if you guys use this. The way Swissborg works is like kind of like the Coinbase of Euro. It's like it's like the easiest way to get your crypto. Like if you want to buy crypto, etc., you can enter, like you can buy with your bank account. Even in Hong Kong, it works where you can just transfer the money, wire the money, and get the crypto without huge fees, right? It's much better than like the credit card method, which charges you like 2 to 3% in fees. This method, you send your coins over, and then you get to either trade and buy your cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. And also, if you have USDC on this account, or you transfer USDC, and you get to enjoy their crazy yield. So I'll cover that more in more detail, but that was the two things I was kind of, you know, playing around with over Christmas. The idea here was that I didn't want to spend money on Christmas. I just wanted to spend my interest on Christmas. So, anyways, that was a pretty fun, super fun experiment, and it worked super well. So, anyways, there we go. We got referral link. So Mythical currency, it's down there. Yeah, if it works. Mythical currency, Swissborg. Why do you and Ivan keep pimping it? How much are they paying? All right, all right, all right, all right. Look, look, look. Look, it's not a matter of how much they're paying, all right? Because payments in crypto, especially for us, doesn't matter that much. But it's a matter of how much you're pumping. Uh, 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 uh. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that Swissborg. Look at that. Uh, uh yeah. Yeah, we all host Swissborg. Like both of us have it. Like, I think that's no surprise. I bought a lot over the year because I actually talked to them, and they're actually like doing really good stuff. And with Coinbase being such a dump, they're doing super well. So yeah, that I don't know. So if you think I'm biased, sure, I'm biased. But at the same time, is it a fucking good performer? Hell yeah, it is. Like from what, 7 cents to like right now, even now it's like 25 cents. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's insane. So go figure. Okay. Go figure. Go figure. Go figure. How much are they paying me now? Nothing. Okay. Nothing. But do I hold it? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Like that wallet. All right. So you can shut up now. All right. So 29K Bitcoin this week. Yeah, Rusharaj JJS is not available in the US. So unfortunately, it is not available in the US. Mythical currencies, what percentage of viewers here are in the US? Just curiosity. I don't know. It's a very global channel, actually. I think, like, I don't know. You guys tell me, man. You guys tell me. So yeah, it's a very global channel. I hope you guys are from everywhere. Well, it's a whole world. Not that I hope you guys are from everywhere. I know you guys are from everywhere, but it's kind of crazy. S3 says influence always push the shitcoins after they've already made gains with inside knowledge. That's actually not really true. Like we kind of don't really get any inside knowledge. The only knowledge that we get is through the interviews. So like a lot of times I interview projects on this channel, I talk to them, and I get a feeling of who they are. So whether they're legit or not, and whether I should spend time or not. The thing is with everything here, like I think everyone's like super careful with influencers. Like the way it works is that because eyes are on us all the time, a lot of projects are very careful when speaking with us. So every time, like, I actually feel like I stand at a significant disadvantage when I speak to projects because they're so careful of how they phrase certain things and what we can and cannot reveal. So it's actually a certain case where, you know how I'm part of Genesis Block Ventures, sometimes I do not go on the chats because it's actually not beneficial for me to go on the chats, rather for them to get an inside scoop on everything. So it's kind of like a dynamic where I find it's actually much more beneficial for other people to find out. And then whether or not I find out, that's another deal, right? Like not everyone tells me, but I can kind of get a sense of what's happening. It's like it's crazy dynamics. Like sometimes it's people are much more willing to open themselves up to other people. It's kind of unfortunate, but yeah, that's the case. That is the case. So we kind of just hold. So it is a case. I think a lot of people are jealous though, that like they're like, oh, you guys are all showing off, you know, how much you made, etc. But I've also showed off the times when I lost a fuck ton of money, like fuck ton. Like I'm pretty open about that. You know, not every win is a win. Not everything is good. You know, and I've been trying to be quite aware of that because we do have survivor bias in crypto where we kind of tend to show off what we are doing well with. Like my portfolio now consists of roughly like not just the main coins, but I have a roughly a 60 to 70 coin portfolio at this current point. And most of the times, I generally like to talk about the stuff that's doing super well. But sometimes things just don't go well. And it's just unfortunate. Sometimes the teams don't work out well. It's part of the game. It's part of this space. And I think a lot of people like and I used to have this problem too, where I'm very afraid of losing. Like I'm very afraid of failing and very afraid of losing. Right? Like it's like super big fear there. Like it's maybe it has to do with ego, maybe with how brain works. But I kind of realized that you gotta be okay with dealing with losses, right? It's a huge part of being in an innovative space where sometimes you can have the right ideas, but it doesn't have the right execution. Sometimes people have the right execution, but the bad ideas. And then things go to shit. Happens all the time. I mean, you guys probably saw with the whole Yam incident. I was like, oh my God, that was like the dumbest shit in the world. But it does happen. It's unfortunate. Some ideas work, some ideas don't work. And sometimes I'm left holding some random garbage that's like 0x'd. But other times you don't. Typically speaking, the way why people get angry at YouTubers also is because of survivor bias. Because generally speaking, for us, it's much, much easier, much more exciting to talk about stuff that went up. Like it's way more exciting, way more exciting, way more exciting. But at the same time, so you kind of have this auto filter for all the successes. So people feel like, oh, why are influencers more successful on average? It was because they talk about their successes more, right? And survivor bias is actually huge. I actually made a video of it all the way back. Survivor bias. But yeah, there's some very good videos. Veritasium, if you guys watch him, he's like super good at that box mining. Let me see if my video is still up there. But yeah, there we go. There's a survivor bias video by box mining. This guy with weird hair ages ago. But I talk a little bit about what that works and why sometimes everyone loves talking about the successes and why sometimes it feels like everyone's succeeding, but you're not. It's not because everyone's succeeding. It's just everyone likes to talk about their success. And people who usually lose, they just go all the way silent, right? They just like, and that's how to spot people who lose. Like people who are very, very active, they suddenly drop off the planet. They probably took a huge loss. Like that's the way it is. But they'll never say it. They'll never like. It does. Not every person will tell you they took a huge loss. So, anyways, um. And people will pay more attention to it. Yeah, Morning says this. People will pay more attention to the successes no matter how much you shared about failures. So, yep, that's pretty much pretty much it. Uh Okay, Elijah Killen says, Box, please think about posting to Rumble too. You're the last streamer on YouTube I watch. I should, yeah, why not? I have a restream thing. Like, the way this channel works is I have it on restream and I repost it to like Facebook and to Twitch and to everything. So I'm pretty sure I can configure that to post to Rumble. So I'll take a look at it. Hmm. So Sam Dillon says, do you have invest in coin trust swap launchpad? Tomorrow will be an interesting day. I do have coin. Yes, I do. I will take a look at what's happening. Angela, thank you so much for posting the video on survivor bias. Yeah, there we go. All right. That's pretty much it. We have a lot of people watching now. I think like today is like crazy. I didn't expect this actually. Um I didn't expect 700 people to be watching today, to be honest. I was just like, oh, well, I'll do it, whatever, right? Like, but yeah, thanks guys for watching. I didn't anticipate to have so many people and so many messages. So I apologize if I can't respond to everyone. Yeah, I did really take a break over the last few days. So yet again, I do excuse that it's less organized than it is usually, but more stuff coming soon. More stuff coming soon. Yes, that's a clear sign I've been streaming for too long, guys. So, guys, thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope you guys are very excited for the coming few weeks. It's gonna be turbulent, okay? It's gonna be super turbulent. I think like there's gonna be a lot of volatility ahead. That's actually going to be quite a good thing. We're breaking new highs, and we're in new areas, and people are going to test whether we can go up or down. So just be very, very cautious going forward. Like, you guys are all responsible people, but if you guys want investment advice, this is not an investment channel, advice channel. Do consult a proper, a certified. I don't know what the terminology is. Do wherever you are, find whatever is the legally investment advice people, and yeah, maybe just laugh at them. But yeah. All right. Morning Saint says, end up finding this channel, got a new sub. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Pac-Man Mon says, your knowledge is on point. I hope to share this with you guys. This channel really helped me, to be honest. Like I said throughout this whole time, I'm really thankful for this channel because we shared a lot of information here. It helped me because when I first started Bitcoin, I knew nothing about it, like everyone, right? And I mined Bitcoin because I can hit buttons on my computer, and I had a graphics card that could mine it back in 2012, but I didn't understand enough about it. I think that was key. I really needed a channel like this, and this is why I kind of wanted to make one like this. And the community helped a huge amount, all the way from 2016, 2017, 2018, 19. We like the ones on this channel that we survived through the entire fucking bear market, like, sorry for swearing and dropping the F-bomb right there, but we survived, man. We survived. And it's good for us to share that information too, because 2017, 2018, 2019 was rough, right? Like Bitcoin just plummeted, like people felt like it was going nowhere. But yeah, we're on these glory days, we're re-entering glory days, but we will also remember that there was pain, right? And we're survivors in this. So anyways, that's it. All right, that's my chat, guys. Thank you guys so much. Gerbil says, don't chat and FOMO all in, DCA, the ups and downs. Exactly. It's all about surviving that. And at the end of it, you are rewarded. Like the people who dropped out and just freaked out, sold all the Bitcoin at 3,000, sucks, right? That's the person not to be, right? You get all excited during all these pumps, and then you just like dump everything. Like, it's not just about this. And I think the community is getting better in that sense too. I think I watched a few of Andreas Antonopoulos' videos, and he was talking about these waves, right? Where people just come in and everyone listens to him. He's a fucking genius. He's in crypto. And then 3 weeks later, when Bitcoin prices crash, they're all like hating him and like, throwing eggs at him. And then he's just like, it happens all the time, right? And then no one listens to him for an entire year until, the next bull run. But for us, it's more, for me at least, it's having that survivor mentality is for me critical. Yet again, speaking for myself only, that was kind of key. Dollar cost averaging is kind of key too. So anyways, that's pretty much it. I'm pretty excited for everything coming up. We got a question from Brendan Zimmer, says, what do you think of Badger Finance? I think that some crazy stuff is going to happen. I'm actually farming that crazy as well, Badger Finance. That's farming with Bitcoin. So you have wrap Bitcoin, Rent BTC, can farm it, but the yields are not as crazy as before. But I heard they're also doing algo coins, right? So at this point, why not? Having exposure there makes sense. So yeah, it's a roughly around 30%, 20-30% right now for the yields on that. It's not bad. So anyways, that's on it. All right, thank you guys so much for coming in. Make sure you guys smash up the likes. Llama666 says, we're all Badger farmers. I know you guys. All the farmers on my channel, we're all Badger farmers. Like we know wing farmers, Badger farmers. Like we're farming everything, guys. And I hope that goes fun. And there's much more farming opportunities coming up. So make sure you follow my Twitter. And yeah, I'm super hungry now too. Like I'm famished. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Let's play the outro, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. I'd like to take the time now to tell you a little bit about everything that's happening in the box mining ecosystem. First and foremost, if you guys like listening to all that's happening in crypto on the go, then I would highly recommend you checking out the Box Mining Bitcoin Out of the Box podcast. And the reason why it's called Bitcoin Out of the Box is because we have long interview segments very much exploring the detail of the newest and latest of what's going on in this whole cryptocurrency space. Whole idea of it is to bridge that gap between knowledge privileged institutional investors and the rest of us here in this space. Now, with the podcast, it's on everything. So it's on Apple Podcasts, it's on Google Podcasts, it's on Spotify. Just search it anywhere, Bitcoin out of the box. So just add that onto a playlist and then just follow the new episodes when it's released. Next up, we also have the box mining newsletter. So this happens roughly bi-weekly. We give you an update of the latest that's going on in a very summarized, condensed format. So this is perfect for anyone that wants an overview of the market. Say, for example, what's happening with OKX, the biggest event, or maybe the little things like what's happening with different coins and overall the trend. So what I use the newsletter for personally myself is to understand what kind of phase we're in crypto, to kind of get in tune. So if you don't read crypto every day, the newsletter is perfect for you. Last but not least, in the link down below, if you're a Telegram user, we have the box mining announcements channel. So this is to announce to you basically what's the latest videos coming up, but also we have a daily update, a community-driven daily update to provide you an idea of the latest updates on the day. And a lot of people have been using that to get informed of the crazy amounts of trends that we see. And I have to give a big thank you for Claudio, our community member, for doing this. It's just been phenomenal. Definitely want to give you a shout out there, Claudio, as well for that. And taking us to the end of the live stream, so make sure, number one, you click like and subscribe on this video because it really does help this channel. And then, of course, check out the podcast. It's one of the best ways to know a little bit more, to extend that knowledge, especially in your spare time. And then, of course, check out the newsletter. If you're, if you want those updates and summaries and trends, newsletter is the place for you. And with that, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you have a good one. See you in the next video. Just a quick thing as well. So I just opened the package of what I got just now. I just got another Ledger X. This is the one I bought myself. I was like, oh, I need another Ledger X to demo. So anyways, I just got that in my mail. So it's kind of funny with all the recent Ledger hacks and everything, but the Ledger e-commerce hack and everything, that I got something from this. But anyways, I ordered this myself and yeah, it's here. So anyways, hope you guys are secure whether or not, when you buy stuff, as also make sure your identities are kept safe. Yeah, have a good day, guys. See you guys very soon. See you guys next stream. Oh, by the way, next stream, very likely we won't do one on Friday because Friday will be the first. I'll be a new year, so I'll probably be like a little bit messed up by then. But so very likely we'll do some other streams throughout the week. So just, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll just chat and show and have a great time and celebrate the coming of 2020 because 2021 actually, and because 2020 is a pretty bad year, but as bad as it is, it's great for crypto, right? So anyways, I'm not going to complain. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching.